Hey Spuddies, Potato Big Whiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 3 as Japan. And we have expanded, we have done lots of cool stuff, we're becoming more powerful. And one thing that we might want to look into is starting to upgrade our factories again. And I think the big upgrade for us will be electricity. So just to run my textile mills, I will need nearly 900 electricity. And that's going to be a huge step forward for us. I'm having a ton of fun playing this game. We've managed to take over Manchuria. We've taken over Korea. We've puppeted Joseon. We've taken a treaty port in China. We have relatively good control of the Philippines. We have a huge chunk of the African continent. And I would say, you know, we have a little bit too much infamy. We're notorious right now to probably continue pressing war. So we're going to spend a little bit of time just chilling. Maybe participating in some European diplomatic plays. Like, for example, there's some diplomatic maneuvers here. It would be kind of interesting if we could lean one way or another. Although I don't care necessarily about revolutions, but I will be keeping an eye on these sorts of things. But I think a big step forward for my economy now would be finally to get power plants. Now, I need to make like an insane number of these things before my economy can sustain it. And then the other problem is engines are really, really expensive in my economy. So I'm going to try to bring down the cost of engines. Now, let me take a look at my motor industries. So like, I could produce electric engines. That would be really, really useful. I would need to unlock electric railways. And this would be actually totally doable. So I would need, what, electricity, 750. So that divided by 5 is how many power plants? 10, 15 power plants. So I think I can do 15 power plants, no problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 15 power plants on the way, ready, being built to join the fray. And then I just need to come to production tech. I need to get started on electric railways. Although before I do that, I do have to finish the threshing machine and the shift work. So that's kind of like the direction that we're heading. It'll take us a few weeks, but we can always find uses for this. Yeah, it's only going to take us like 10 to 15 weeks to get threshing machines, and then it'll be another 14 months, but this should get boosted by our technology spread, so we should be able to get shift work relatively quickly, and then electric railways should not be too far behind. So our economy will be struggling for a little while. I think we can sustain this deficit for quite a while. Our interest payments are rough, but I think we can overcome them, because we can always just turn off our construction industry, and most of our economy would recover pretty quickly. The nice thing about, there might be other... The nice thing about having lots of puppets, by the way, is that they give you money and they also demand goods in your economy. I'm trying to see if there's any like changes I could make to any of my factories to like upgrade them. Electric streetlights, damn, that's a power hungry. There's no changes there. What about here? Let's have a look. So I could go to barbed wire. I can't afford the electricity, but I think barbed wire on my livestock ranches seems like a pretty good economic boost for my country. Let's make sure every mine is publicly traded. Do we want to use rail transportation? Yeah, let's use rail transportation. New party formed, the Imperial Way Party. Interesting. Let's reshuffle our government. Who do we want to be in power? So the Emperor is a part of the industrialists. So we want to have the industrialists in power. Let's drop you and drop you. That gives us a little bit more political power, a little bit of radicalism, that's fine. So there's steam-powered threshing machines for our farms. If we go to our market, we could go to this, and it would actually improve the productivity of these buildings. So let's go for, like, because it has less laborers. This wouldn't be a productive use. This wouldn't be... We'll go to barbed wire fencing. I definitely feel like if you were to micromanage your economy to an insane degree in Victoria, you could do some serious work. Let's get shift work. Ooh, economy of scale is actually really, really damn good. So now economy of scale will go up to 50, which would be insane. Our first set of power plants are just about to complete. This will massively increase the demand for engines in my economy. So I think I do have to just like build a few motor industries once they get done. So boom, there they are. Now I need to figure out which building do I want to build that will actually consume electricity. Honestly, I think textile mills using electricity would be fine. We need to do a little bit of dye plantations. Let's bring this up to a level of 50, and we'll bring you up to a level of 50 as well to get the maximum throughput benefit. We're about to research throughput boosts. So if we bring both of these silk plantations up to, dye plantations up to a level where they are at 50, they will get the maximum 50% throughput benefit, which means they're 50% more productive. Ooh, actually... Could also go to automatic irrigation. I think I need to get more engines. I need to get to this electric railway tech. It's just so important. The electrification of my economy is just super important for me. Pretty sure I just saw some lightning crack across the sky. I definitely start to feel that the game is like chugging this late, which I suppose is totally reasonable. Oh shoot, I could get involved in the Revolutionary East India Company. So what is different between you? Your republic. We could get, you know what, I can't afford to get in a war. I'm at a major deficit right now. I could import engines from the British market. I'm going to go ahead and import those engines to hopefully make my economy better. I need to import coal as well. I'm going to import coal from America and Austria. Let's have a look there. I need to import explosives. I'll grab some from Britain. That should help out. I can't import electricity, but the cool thing is my population are now consuming electricity, which is making it a little bit expensive. You have to wait a little while till all these dye plantations finish and stuff. So we just unlocked psychoanalysis, giving us a 5% bureaucracy population cost modifier and 10% extra influence. I think I'm getting to the point where I might consider integrating Sakhalin. Let's have a look. We have fully stocked livestock ranches here. It wouldn't make sense to go to electrical fences. That's fine. I don't know why meat is so cheap in my economy. I feel like more people should be eating meat. Maybe it's like just too high of a luxury. So we built a ream of dye plantations, so we're able to very, very quickly adjust to the price on that. Hardwood, again, is super expensive, mostly from furniture factories. It feels basically impossible to reduce the price of hardwood. I mean, I'll try. Economy of scale building cap is helping out. That's going to cause a little bit of disruption in my economy as things like readjust. Let's immediately go for electrical railways. I don't think there's a reason to go for literally anything else. Oh no, we have to do vulcanization first? Yeah, let's do vulcanization. We want these to be as cheap as possible. Oh, we finally discovered oil. Oil in Japan. Let's do oil rigs. Hell yeah. This should start to generate oil because we're starting to actually consume oil, mostly in our arms and food industries. My pops are using it, and also I think I'm exporting it heavily. Ooh, we finally passed Great Britain. We're now the #1 GDP country in the world. We're number 9 for GDP per capita. We'll soon be climbing above them. There's only 30 years left in the game, 28 years left in the game. So there's not a lot of time left for us to actually continue to expand our economy. But at the very least, the rate of expansion towards the end game should be very, very high. Dude, I don't even have like steel frame buildings yet. I can't even afford it. We did just unlock submarines, which is useful if you want to go in like a naval raiding direction. See here, we can do submarines. It does increase the cost of stuff. Oh wow, carriers. That is crazy. That gives you a huge amount of power projection. So we did manage to bring down the price of hardwood in Japan pretty effectively. We're still working on things like glass and lead and oil. Coal especially, we got a huge deficit of coal. I need to like deal with that. So we've just unlocked vulcanization. This is giving us access to bicycle messengers in barracks. This is like giving us provinces captured and bonus offense. This also gives us elastics in our textile mills, which will massively increase the rate of luxury clothing production, which might not actually be a bad thing. Let me have a little bit of a think about that. This would also create a demand for rubber. I mean, why not? This will increase the demand for luxury goods, I guess. The cost of rubber will go up, but I think I can deal with the cost of rubber being high. Oh wow, yeah, that's a lot of buy orders for rubber. Let's get that underway. All right, let's have a look at the price of rubber. The supply of rubber is massively increasing, which should start to see that price come down to a more reasonable level. I can definitely hear thunder and lightning. I can see the flashes. I can see that. Shit's crazy right here in Ireland. So I'm wondering, have I met the need for rubber? I might need to build a little bit more in terms of rubber plantations. Let's do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I would rather be slightly oversupplying my industry than undersupplying. And that's like a big problem that I've been running into consistently in the game, is that I'm just like severely undersupplying almost every industry in my economy. But hopefully we can get that sorted. We can get that dealt with. We can get that graph to go a little bit more vertical. We're officially 7th in the world for GDP per capita. Our GDP per capita is like increasing so incredibly quickly. I'm really, really happy about that. Even though we have a massive population growth right now, like we're getting 1 million people per year. That's like not even, I don't know if that's encompassing immigration as well. But if we take a look at our demographics now, I think for the first time ever, yep, laborers now outnumber peasants. So peasants are no longer the biggest part of our economy. We've managed to get down to the point now where peasants are not the driving economic force in my country, and they haven't been for a very long time. We also have a massive culturally diverse population. I feel like I've built a Japan that I could be proud of. Sure enough, we did like a little bit of colonialism and all that sort of stuff, but like, you know, we're multicultural, you have freedom of religion. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but I feel like we made an interesting and fun Japan here. So I would really like to switch off agrarianism. Let's move to interventionism. That's at least a step towards capitalists contributing more. Right now I'm only getting aristocratic investment pool, so I really want that capitalist investment pool, because I think that's holding me back quite a bit. I feel like there's so much potential min-max in this game that like if you really sat down and like worked out, okay, this is what I need to buy here, I need to put this there and do this, that, the other, you could create like a super giga powerful economy. There's a little bit of a revolution brewing, but it's only going to go up to a radicalism of 57, so I'm not worried about that. I really need interventionism. I mean, like the only thing I need to say to convince you about interventionism is the fact that like I have almost more capitalists than aristocrats, and my capitalists are over twice the standard of living. And standard of living, every 1 point increase in standard of living is a 10% increase on the baseline. So, or 10% increase over the previous one. So like, if you're 20 wealth points ahead, that's like, you do the maths on that? I don't know how to do the maths. But it's at least, you're making at least twice as much money, if not more, like depending on how the compounding works. It could be closer to 3 or 4 times as much money. I don't know how to do the compounding math in my head. If I opened up a calculator or a spreadsheet, I could do it in seconds, but you know, this entire game is a spreadsheet. Why would I do that? I've already got my spreadsheet in front of me, baby. Wait, is Radical Finland invading Russia? Oh my god. Or are they just taking over Finland? I can't even tell. Radical Finland seems to be doing way better than has any right to be doing. Good job, Radical Finland. Ugh. Did Canada get independence? Oh, I think Canada got independence. That's why it's like gross green color. Ew. Canada should be pink, okay? Dude, Australia never had a chance. There's just been... Oh my god, there's like actual... This is like, you know those like reactor things you see in like petri dishes where like these self-sustaining reactions? There's just like a reaction wave going this way, this way, this way, and they're all like... I don't even know what's going on here in Australia. Australia, let's just not look at it too hard. Tea, coffee, and wine and sugar are a little bit expensive. Let's see if we can't handle that. We've got a deficit of about 800 in tea. Each tea... Oh wait, you know what we could do actually? Rather than doing this, we could start upgrading our plantations. So like if I go down to my tea plantations and went to automatic irrigation, it would use engines. I think I'm going to wait until I start doing electrical engines. So the big thing I'm waiting for is electric railways. This will like completely transform my economy. Once I have electric railways, like everything changes. Which honestly should tell me to build more power plants. So I'd really like it if interventionism would pass on the first tick here. Couple days. Nope, it did not. But we get a rousing speech, 15% enactment chance, so good chance it'll pass on the next one. Statistics, how do they work? It's a good question. I don't fully understand them. I don't think even statisticians fully understand statistics. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it a little hot take there. I don't think they know. I think they're making it up, at least some of the time. Not all the time. Not all of it is bullshit, but they, you know, there's a couple times. Right, this is huge, right? There's electric engines and rail log carts, although we don't particularly care about rail log carts. There's more electricity firing through the sky. That's my favorite. I'm kind of tempted to maybe turn off my computer soon. I don't know. Am I actually safe? Well, hold on. Let me Google that. Is it safe to use a computer in a thunderstorm? Let's have a look. A power surge can totally fire your PC. If there's a major lightning storm, your best bet is simply shut down and unplug. How long have I got left? Listen, we'll push our luck for a half an hour, okay? Right, so we're going to go ahead and switch now our motor industries to electric engines. This will increase the profitability of this factory by 21,000 per month. More importantly, it'll increase the productivity of engines by 1.2k per month. It'll cost me more steel, it'll cost me more electricity, but I am building steel and electricity over time. But the reason I do this is because now I have a huge supply of engines, okay? And then with that huge supply of engines, I can come into my rural areas, and like my coffee plantations, I can now let them use engines to produce more coffee, more cotton, more dye, more tea. And also, I think this also gets rid of the majority of the laborers in here making these skilled workers. So the electricity shortage is bad. It'll take 30 weeks for those to come online. Right, we have a little bit of a shortage of electricity, but that's the price you pay when you're industrializing, right? You have a little bit of, there's teething pains, there's always teething pains. But the good news is all of the luxury goods in my country now are like super cheap. So the quality of life of people should go up. The only thing that's missing is like sugar and wine, but you know, we'll deal with those bridges when we cross them. We'll cross those bridges when we have to, whatever the phrase is. So now in terms of technology, my game will crash. I'll tell you what, there's a thunderstorm going on. My game crashed. We'll finish this episode later. Thunderstorm has passed and things are looking okay. We do have electric railways. Let's have a look here. Combustion engines. Ooh, we could start producing automobiles. That would use up a lot of rubber and oil. We don't really have that much oil, so we need to kind of think about these things. I really want nitrogen fixation. I want to improve my farm production. Like I said, there's a little revolution. It's just a little revolution blown. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Dyes have become like exceptionally cheap. Let's see if we can get a little bit of exporting going, because we might be overproducing. So it's just like anyone who's going to buy at least like 100 of them will export. We may as well encourage exports because we're not really making that much way in the way of tariffs, and that'll just make it so that we export more. It is good for goods to be cheaper, in my experience. However, this is too cheap. We need to bring that price up a little bit. I like having a lot of excess bureaucracy. Yeah, I don't really have a use for those. Can I export this? So how much spare silk do I have? I'm overproducing by about 700, so we'll export a bit to the Brits. They'll buy it up. We're making really, really good cash per month. So we're clearing our credit by about 5 million a year. So we'll be able to clear that deficit up pretty soon. We could raise taxes, but I want to be in like a relatively low tax area right now. I need money flowing around the economy, doing what it should be doing. The big thing is we need to bring down the price of electricity. People are super hungry for electricity right now. And I think that has led to decreases in demand for other goods that provide heating and electricity. Because I believe electricity is a heating need, yeah. But electricity is one of the more efficient ways to do it. Now, my population is still, I would assume, because I have a lot of poor people, they're probably still eating a lot of wood. Yeah, they're using a decent amount, but it's mostly poor people. But there's very little comparative pop consumption for electricity. So as we bring up the quality of living, they should be more likely to buy electricity. Let's go through. Electric trains. So this would reduce the coal consumption. Well, if we're going to reduce coal consumption, then we should almost certainly go for steam turbines to allow my factories to be able to use coal. Let's go for steam turbines then. I'm going to prioritize that. By getting steam turbines, I'll be able to produce more electricity per power plant and then switch a lot of my factories away from actually using coal to using electricity. Thus, I think it'll make the production chain a little bit more complicated, a little bit more interesting without completely crippling my coal industry. The graph has continued to go vertical. That's really good. So we just got elevators and we also just got interventionism. So elevators will allow us to build bigger construction industries. That'll be part of our long-term goals. I think we can eventually get skyscrapers and stuff like that. We also have interventionism, so we can subsidize all buildings, and now our capitalists will be contributing to the investment pool. Hopefully that will result in a higher investment pool contribution. I don't know if that's true. I assume my capitalists are richer and they were contributing nothing before. So my hope is that this changeover, the handoff, will actually be profitable and fruitful for me. We are heading into the very final era of the game. God, we're so notorious. I don't want to go too infamous because I'm worried about people just going crazy on me. So we could get 33% power plants throughput for years, or get 4K progress towards steam turbine. I'm going to take that steam turbine bonus. So if we take a look at our market, the price of electricity should start climbing down. I think that's our main priority right now. But once we have steam turbines, you'll be able to get that shooting down to a really good level. I'm mostly letting my economy expand itself right now. I think I have a huge surplus. Do we go to steel frame buildings? Let's try it. Can my economy bear the cost of steel frame buildings? So wood is now much cheaper, cloth is much cheaper, so I'm using steel frame. That's tools, glass, steel, and explosives. All of these things are quite expensive. We'll have to bring those prices down. But we're doing it. We are now doing steel frame. We could eventually go to arc welded buildings, which I think is just crazy speed. But now we're at a 600 production line. I would love to do like a totally pacifist, like micromanage of economy run. Maybe we'll do that as like Persia or something. That would be really exciting and fun. But yeah, now glass is like horrendously expensive. Let's go ahead and just expand the glassworks a little bit. Steel is also horrendously expensive, so we'll go ahead and expand our steel mills a little bit. And hardwood continues to be expensive, but the motor industries is also just a major problem. We are getting more motor industries online, and we're very close to getting steam turbines. I'm really excited at that prospect. Oh yeah, look at that GDP. We're almost outstripping the UK by a massive amount. We are the number 4 worldwide GDP per capita. We're almost outstripping Great Britain. Our society is advancing. So people are kind of angry. They want to restore agrarianism. It means I can't really do much in the way of political movements without forcing a civil war. As much as I would love to, for example, go down to women in the workplace, this would infuriate. You know what? I would actually really like women in the workforce. I'd like women's suffrage. But the problem is this would radicalize the monks and the landowners. You know what? Women's suffrage. Let's do it. Let's have a revolution. You guys can be mad. We now have access to the electric industries. That's going to be important. Let's get a couple of those up early. They use rubber tools, iron, and lead to make telephones. Yeah, let's just do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. We'll get those built nice and early. This is just to kickstart the electrics economy because those are useful consumer goods. And I guess we do have a little bit of construction overhead, so we can probably expand our construction industry a little bit. And my GDP had like a tiny little kink in it. Something went wrong. What happened? Oh, steel got expensive, as did glass. Well, we're still working on those. The steel mills are coming online now. God, just nobody has steel in the quantities that my civilization demands it. I love seeing these stacks of buildings getting built all at the same time, mostly industrial buildings as well. We are now in a deficit because I'm overspending on construction, but I'm okay with overspending on construction because my goal is to use that construction to continue to expand my economy. Yeah, the price of steel and glass is like still absurd. Let's do a lot of construction on that front. Okay, this is big. We're about to get steam turbines. Huge. Now we can do coal-fired power plant. So we're going to do a little bit of switching around here. Let's go to our buildings. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to come down to our power plants. We're going to go to coal-fired power plant. Now, this is going to massively increase the cost of engines and coal, but then we're going to go to a whole bunch of industries, in particular, motor industries. We're making electric engines. That's okay. We'll continue to expand you. I forget what I was going to change. Automated power looms. Let me have a look there. There was something I was going to switch. Was it my development? These things. Yeah, if we go to electric trains, look at that huge surplus we're going to generate. Substitution, transportation is going to be super cheap. Coal will come down in price. Engines will go up in price. Electricity will go up in price. But I think our economy can bear that now. Okay, transportation is super cheap now. It's good, 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 good. We have the Metropolitan Railway, the International Telephone Exchange. We can make friends with the UK. That's kind of what we want to do. So I'm down with that. Open the markets. Free trade party. Yeah, let's go for free trade. Metropolitan Railway, railway throughput, loyalists, or we can get permanent railway throughput in Kanto and 25 prestige for 9 years. Ooh. Let's make engineers more loyalist and we'll get railway throughput. This is in Kanto, right? Yeah. So this place just has a special effect now where the railway here just chooches faster because we got those nice electric trains. So big problem I'm running into is engines and steel are expensive. Can I do anything in my production text to help me out with that? Mechanized farming would bring me up to tractors. I mean, you know, assembly lines would allow, yeah, okay. I think the automatic bottle brewers, that would just be this. Rayon would allow me to make silk and dye, conveyors. This is all about like saving workers and increasing the consumption. Construction sector throughput could be useful. Houseware plastics. Ooh, there we go. Oil and lead. Let's check our production methods. So we could go automated power looms, but that would make electricity really, really expensive. That was kind of our original plan with electrification. We can't afford to do this. This is a slightly better consumption, so we'll switch that over. What about brine electrolysis? Oh yeah, huge increase in explosives production, and it adds a bunch of engineers back into the factory. Will cost us some electricity, but that's a huge throughput bonus to my empire. Still aren't making cars, but we're doing good on other fronts. Publicly traded electric industry. They will be producing those. My urban centers, I can just about afford to switch them over to this. This would reduce my steel requirement. I can't afford to go to electric streetlights yet. Not while the demand for electricity is so high. We need to keep upping it. So steel, glass, and engines and coal are the big things I need to get up. Let's add coal. Just add a whole bunch of coal. We'll go ahead and we'll get ourselves a little bit of random steel. More engine factories. We've got a huge, like just the sheer rate of construction that I have is insanity. And the construction industry, seemingly in this game, is the main driver of economic progress. Yeah, at least in terms of your GDP. But like if we look at Japan now, look at this sprawling metropolis, this urbanized country that we have with like huge railways going back and forth. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool to see that your country actually like physically changes on the map. Like if we go and compare that to like somewhere like Persia, it's like little tiny agrarian cities. Now if we go check out the UK will be insane, dude. Check it out. These massive sprawling cities. Looks like they're having a little bit of a communist revolution here. People are upset. A little bit of anger going on the map. How about the east coast of America? They got to be built up, right? Oh, New York is pretty built up, but that's about it. So luxury goods seem to all be chooching along nicely. A little bit of consumer goods shortages. Yeah, we need to build more glass. Expand our glass works. I just realized, by the way, I knew you could do this, but I just realized how convenient it was. Is that you could just right click one of these things here and be like, yeah, I need to expand my coal mines. And then you can go back. There's actually, the UI is way more convenient than I thought it was for expanding your market. I could have been micromanaging this way better. The electrics industries have been built, but I think their goods are too expensive or not enough people are buying telephones right now. But we have added, I presume, a new luxury good, which will handle people's communication needs instead of services and transportation. God, why is this game so satisfying to play? I love Victoria. I love it. I love the building mechanics are just so much more fun. I feel like they've made the game way more interactive compared to Victoria 2, and which is kind of a bit of a hot take probably because they actually removed a lot of interactivity with some of the game systems directly, right? And yet somehow because you build the economy manually, at least for the most part, they made the game way more interactive. I actually just cannot get enough hardwood. There's not enough hardwood in the world to fuel my economy for furniture and arms and shipyards and stuff. Anywhere with a lot of wood. Let me have a look here. Dude, why aren't you building logging camps? Let's improve our relations. So wait, why can't I annex? So I could annex Korea, but why can't I annex Dynam? When's our truce up with you? Let's start lowering our relations with Dynam. Maybe then we can start Because I didn't realize that you had to have low relations to annex a subject. Let me have a look at Korea's economy. They don't have much in the way of logging camps, but it would be good to get land that I could directly improve. Let's just start building, like, how many peasants do we have? We got 3 million peasants here. Am I still enacting women's suffrage? I am, so they'll start joining the workforce. I'm going to build some giga power plants here. This is going to be like the biggest, most central power plant ever. It's going to be 51 power plants in this one province, all being built first. It'll take 78 weeks for me to get through that construction queue. But this should like fully complete the electrification of Japan. Because I believe 50 is the maximum throughput bonus you can get. So right now we're getting a 5% throughput bonus. So if we're getting a 50% throughput bonus, that means these buildings are 50% more productive than they should be, and which will mean a ton of extra electricity for my economy. Of course, infrastructure is pretty high in here, so we shouldn't have any trouble. Whole bunch of revolutions happening, none of which that I care too much about, to be honest with you. I could be participating in all these, but I wanted to play like a more chill game with less warfare. I wanted to focus on like building a reasonable Japan, doing a little bit of colonialism, you know, interacting with all the game systems and building up a really, really powerful economy. Just to kind of show things off. Oh wow, I am not the current top prestige. Well, who has taken the top spot? Great Britain. Yoinking it back. How? Interesting. We'll fight for that top position, let me tell you. But I should be the world's biggest producer of electricity, and I am. I'm making an insane amount of electricity right now. Having a little bit of a tax bleed. I'm going to raise taxes again. Having a bit of trouble. USA wants a trade agreement. I'll take that deal. Trade agreement? Hell yeah. You trade with me. You can buy my stuff. So we just are now crapping out electricity. Now, conversely, if we check out this power plant, it's also having other problems, right? We're consuming a lot of coal, like an insane amount of coal here. But this should take care of all of our electricity problems. Population like here, pretty normal. We've got a lot of peasants. So let's do something similar for the glass problem that we have. I want to go up to like 30 glass factories here. Let's fully build this oil rig here so that it's cranking out as much possible oil as we can. And now I'm going to start building up these coal mines. No more whaling stations in this country. Everything's starting to become cheap. That's good. That means good quality of life for my people. Quality of life coming up. It took us a long time to get it up there, but she is chooching along now. Oh, look at that big money from the investment pool transfer. In fact, the investment pool transfer is almost perfectly paying for my entire economy right now, like in terms of construction, which is just insanity. Which means we should be able to expand our construction industry. The insatiable need for materials continues. I just realized that in this alternate timeline, I've created like some weird, horrifying bastardization of like a Japanese version of Great Britain that also combines with America. It's just like this insanely huge economy that just like is all consuming and eats everything. We do have mechanized farming now, so that's something we could maybe look into. Tractors. Okay, so we would use more coal, we would use more engines, but we'd use less tools, and we'd have a lot less workers. A lot less workers frees up people to work on other things, but I don't want to do it unless it actually makes financial sense. We can do electric fences across the board now. We could do mechanized slaughterhouses, so let's start to use coal. I'm down with that. We just need refrigerated storage and stuff like that too. I'm going to start using dynamite in my iron mines. It's about time. Took me a long time to get to that point. Steam donkey. Can't afford to do the steam donkey. So I'm just trying to get my economy mechanized, upgraded, more efficient, consuming more resources, doing everything it can to be more and more and more and more and more productive. Let's go to a max level construction industry in my capital. Why not, right? We're all in, baby. We're all in on the economic growth. We're on the final stretch. That GDP per capita, though, £6.3 per person. We just mechanized farming, which gives +3 minimum wealth across the country. Hell yeah. Oh my god, distributing food surplus, +3 minimum wealth? That is insanity. So did I ever decide to incorporate the South Island? I think I fully built everything here. The only thing it's really missing is potentially a little bit of urban production. So like we've got whaling stations, we've got logging camps, we've got fishing wharves. What's the population like here? I'll tell you what I'll do. This will take, let's start to incorporate it, and then we'll add like an extra little bit of government administration down here. It'll take 21 years. Holy shit. The game will be over, dude. I guess it's time to start incorporating all these territories. We're going to incorporate you too. That'll take another 21 years. This should start to see a big tax rate increase in a lot of these colonial areas. There's 25% or 25 extra taxation capacity. Taking a look at my capital state, we got a lot of stuff we need to build here. Like we need to fully build these lead mines. We got a ton of potential arable land here. I think we just go to 50 with everything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Because if we go to 50 with everything, we get the maximum potential boost, right? So it'll take us 57 weeks to fully build my capital region. That is the production, that is the construction efficiency that we have there. Like if we go to the capital, can I see this? Where are we expanding this? Kanto. What's the construction efficiency in this area? I wonder. Let me have a look down here. Construction, 51%. Holy shit, that's insane. Yeah, I don't have nitrogen fixation yet, so I can't really increase the rate at which I use resources. So I'm in the process of building up Kanto to like a ridiculous degree. Like, just look how urban this is. I wish, what is going on? Am I in diplomatic play? Why is it showing me Japan HQ? I don't want to see this. I want it to go away. Am I at a war? I want to show the town. Yeah, look at this. This is sick as hell. Like a massive gigacity. Ooh, 4,000 more glass at a cost of 3,000 more oil? Hell yeah, let's do that. Bring that price of glass right down, baby. And that should actually result in a significant decrease in our construction costs because we use a decent amount of glass in construction. The only question I have is my deficit decreasing or increasing? Am I actually managing to build out of this problem? Or am I making it worse? Managed to expand the oil industry so we can get oil extractor throughput, or yeah, let's go for technology. Tech seems like the best play. We'll get the combustion engine a little bit quicker. Oh man, remember when this looked flat? And then it just went ever more vertical? Oh baby. I feel like we could hit this curve like this. If we played right, I feel like we could hit this curve. Play in the right country and the right setup. There's some crazy economic growth you could do in this game. So there's nitrogen fixation. That's going to trigger a huge change to our farming. Ooh, actually. Now this one would be a nice boost. For my rice farms, that would be a 63k profitability increase. Now that'll increase the price of fertilizers. But fertilizers are honestly really cheap. You would lose money if I did that. You would lose money if I did that. Yeah, your steam-powered threshing machines. Grain is becoming super cheap in my economy. Let's see, what do we want to research here in the society tree? We're doing mass surveillance, which is taxation capacity. We could do behaviorism, analytical philosophy, mass propaganda. My military tech is like lagging hard, but it's not where I've like decided to prioritize my production. I decided to make like an overwhelming economy towards the late game. Yeah, let's get pasteurization. Let's do it. Are there actually even going to be... There's just not going to be enough workers here in my capital. So they're all going to be like competing to hire people to manage the economy. These rice farms, there's no way they can get enough people. I don't remember being in a war. Oh, there's a revolution. Is Cambodia my subject? Wait, hold on. Oh, they're a protectorate. Okay, let me go ahead and deploy a little military there then. That's what that was. You go ahead and help those guys out. If you can get there in time. Hopefully you can. Let's have a look. Something's happened to my government. I think I lost legitimacy here. There's a Communist Party and a Free Trade Party. So who's in favor of women's suffrage? The industrialists and the petty bourgeoisie. So, I want to bring the petty bourgeoisie into government. I think maybe I kick out the intelligentsia to get back legitimacy. There we go. A little bit of legitimacy coming back to us. We've actually managed to marginalize the church somehow, believe it or not. The intelligentsia are super mad. That's probably why my prestige was low. It's because they were lowering it. Those jerks. How dare they? I think this is as good a point as any to end the video though. We have made major strides. I just can never seem to get my economy balanced. Like no matter how much of this stuff I produce, it's just I can never meet demand. No matter what I do. But my quality of life is shooting up, as is my GDP. My education level is increasing, my population is increasing reasonably. I'm going to call that the end of the episode though. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.